It is the 15th day of May 2024. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch and Hope TV, the station where you look and live. It is a blessing to be on your screen once again. I'm Teresia Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. Let's take a look at the day's news. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, has expressed concerns over rampant corruption in devolved units across the country. EACC spokesperson Eric Ngumbi noted that most of the corrupt dealings involve embezzlement of public funds. In a media briefing in Eldoret, Ngumbi said the commission is already probing several devolved units over suspected graft allegations. He also revealed that they are keenly monitoring the ongoing budgeting process in counties after discovering that some corrupt dealings are usually crafted at this stage.
When you look at those reports from EACC together with the reports that are developed by the Auditor General, one thing stands out, that embezzlement of public funds and other forms of corruption are prevalent in other counties, and that is why EACC continues to intensify action. At this moment, EACC is now monitoring the budgeting process by the counties, because we do recognize that budgeted corruption is one of the biggest forms of corruption. The ongoing flood disaster in the country as an element of corruption. It is important for Kenyans to appreciate that corruption affects us in different ways, and when we have money that is meant for construction of dams and it is embezzled, when we have bridges that are not properly done, we have shoddy work done on critical infrastructure, it makes it difficult to contain a situation such as the one that we are facing today.
We also have another trend where people, especially with the county governments, people work in two public institutions at the same time. Where someone is a lecturer, a professor in a university, he goes to home and gets a post of a chief officer or a CEC in charge of a department, and is working parallel at the same time.
President William Ruto has defended the government's plan to impose more taxes on Kenyans, stating that the move is part of a larger strategy aimed at boosting the country's revenue and reducing its dependence on borrowing. During a meeting with students from Harvard University at State House in Nairobi, President Ruto revealed his intention to increase Kenya's average tax rate from the current 14% to 16% by the end of the year. And as Grace Ahati now reports, Ruto has justified this decision by highlighting that Kenya's tax rates are significantly lower compared to those of its neighboring countries across the continent.
And the future is here. The future is here.
As Kenyans continue to grapple with the harsh economic times, the government has announced plans to impose more taxes on them to enhance the country's revenue and lessen its dependence on borrowing. President Ruto has revealed plans to incrementally raise the average tax rate in Kenya from 14% to 16% by the end of the year, with a goal of reaching between 20 to 22% by the end of his term in office. In his remarks during a meeting with Harvard University students at State House in Nairobi, Ruto emphasized his commitment to steering Kenya towards financial stability and avoiding excessive reliance on loans. While this move is likely to burden the taxpayers financially, the president has underscored the necessity for the country to curtail its expenditures and alleviate its debt burden.
Told everybody, tighten up your belts. I am not going to preside over a bankrupt country. I am not going to preside over a country that is in debt distress. We have to cut our spending, and there is no free lunch. And we have to think of what we need to do two fundamental things. Reduce. We cannot spend what we don't have.
While defending the government's decision, the head of state has pointed out that Kenya's current tax rates are significantly lower than those of other countries on the African continent. Ruto's sentiments come barely a week after the National Treasury gazetted the Finance Bill 2024, which included various new tax proposals, a move that was met with criticism from both financial experts and the general public.
My drive is to push Kenya. Possibly this year we will be at 16% from 14%. I want in my term, God willing, to leave it at between 20 and 22%. It's going to be difficult. I have a lot of explaining to do. People will complain, but I know finally they will appreciate that the money we go to borrow from the World Bank is savings of other countries. We have to begin to live within our means.
Meanwhile, Ruto has maintained that the government is moving all its services to the digital space, which he believes will enhance the country's revenue.
For your information, we are moving all government services online. So that way, transactions, the whole, economic activity, social activity, whatever it is, will be in that space. And we need to take advantage of the presence of people in that space.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Grace Ahati.
For those who are doing business.
Thank you, Grace Ahati, for that report. Now, Azimio la Umoja Coalition has faulted the Kenya Kwanza government for the rising high cost of living, calling out to its legislatures to reject the bill when tabled in Parliament. Through Wiper Party leader, the opposition has expressed readiness to rally their members to protests should the Parliament approve the proposals in the bill. Lowell Mason with more details.
The way dictatorships work.
Speaking during the Finance Bill workshop attended by Azimio leaders, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has condemned the Kenya Kwanza government for what he terms as overtaxation and punitive measures towards Kenyans. At the same time, Kalonzo has criticized the 11-member committee that handled the impeachment of Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mithuka Linturi, poking holes as by 7 members of the committee overturned a decision reached upon by 149 members of the National Assembly, mounting pressure on the CS to resign.
Committee NADCO bills. And there's a proposal here to have this within 2 months. And on the constitutional amendment, 6 months.
Yes.
We are not talking about parliamentary months.
Yes.
We're talking about calendar months. 2 months.
The opposition is also pushing for the implementation of the NADCO report, claiming that it has observed reluctance from the governments in regards to matters implementation of the recommendations made. Speaking about IEBC Amendment Bill, Rarieda MP Otiende Amolo opined that there is minimal request from the Kenya Kwanza in moving the NADCO report forward.
That 7 MPs could overturn the vote of 149 members of parliament. How would you call this? It's absolutely ridiculous. Mr. Linturi should do the honorable thing and resign.
On his end, Senator Edwin Sifuna expressed his dissatisfaction with the Kenya Kwanza government, making a call to Azimio coalition leadership and legislatures to support the proposed allocation of 414 billion Kenyan shillings of revenue to counties.
Fraternity and all Kenyans of goodwill, that we are ready to exercise our constitutional right under Article 37 of the Constitution of Kenya. That is the right to peaceably assemble, to demonstrate, to picket, and to present petitions to public authorities.
Azimio has now warned the government against implementing the proposals in the Finance Bill 2024, stating that they are ready to rally their members back to the streets and resume their planned protest against the government.
And they say that we in the opposition are required to push back on these things. What I don't understand is, why can't you just do the right thing? Why not do the right thing? Although they say that the price of democracy is a ton of vigilance, these ones are overworking us by every single day, waking up with dumb ideas, with bad ideas, with very diabolic ideas.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch,
Something we can justify and we are prepared.
Lowell Mason.
So,
much appreciated, Lowell Mason, for that report. Now to Much lighter news, it has been quite a cheerful day filled with joy at Hope FM as staff members lined up to receive the new equipment courtesy of its fans through the Rafiki Mso campaign. Even as Hope FM celebrates its 20th year, this new equipment will ensure that Hope FM increases its footprint across the country and spread the message of hope as well as the gospel of Christ to as many listeners as possible. To you, our fan, we say thank you. When we called out to you for support, you were present. Today we celebrate this milestone because you held our hand.
Overjoyed. I am almost teary, but I'm really excited because we have received a couple of equipment that is going to make sure that we're in the places that we are not. And this is courtesy of Rafiki Mso. We've gone on air every day and said, tafadhali, Rafiki Mso, 100 for 1 will make a difference. And indeed, 100 shillings have made a whole lot of difference. And so it's big. It's big for Hope FM, and we want to say thank you, a very big thank you to all the Friends of Hope for their little big contribution. It's a big thing.
What we have received today, there are a number of items that we have gotten through the courtesy of Rafiki Musos. That's Friends of Hope. They decided to buy for us items to expand the territory for Hope FM. We have received a number of items today. That's one of them is the antenna system, that's a 6-bay. We have the feeder cable, that's 100 meters. We have a number of jumper cables. We have a cavity, that's a bandpass filter. The reason for this item is so that we don't interfere with other players in the sector with the signal. Another item that we received is the sound processor to ensure our Rafiki Musos, the signal that we deliver to the regions that we're going to cover, it's very clean and very clear.
Nashukuru Mungu sana manake Rafiki wa Hope tangia mwaka uliopita tuliweza kuitisha msaada waweza kutusaidia kuweza kupanua pale mawimbi yetu, na hakika waliweza kuitikia mwito, wameweza akatuma hela zile kidogo kidogo tumejaza kwa pamoja, na leo hii mitambo imeweza kuingia. Tunashukuru maana itakuwa inapanua pale masafa yetu na kuweza kufikia watu ambao labda hawajatufikia kwa muda mrefu, na vile vile unapata kwamba kuna wengi ambao tungependa kufikia na habari njema, habari ya tumaini. Kwa hivyo tuamini Mwenyezi Mungu kwamba na hivi ambao tumeweza kupata hii mitambo yote hii tutaweza kufikia wengi zaidi na habari zake Yesu Kristo, na wengi wataweza kuokoka kuweza kupata tumaini katika maisha.
As we celebrate the next 20 years, we are really grateful. Our focus is to ensure Hope FM is in every home in Kenya. Hope FM is in every home across the globe. By the way, you can listen to us on our website, www.hopemediakenya.org. But locally, we design all 47 counties, every village, every home to have Hope FM in their respective homes. So for the next 20 years, we see ourselves covering the entire country of Kenya, entire 47 counties. And we know through the continuous supports of Friends of Hope, our advertisers, our partners, our friends will be able to achieve this by God's grace.
It is much appreciation to all our Hope FM fans. Now, President William Ruto has asked the Kenya Defence Forces, KDF, to help the country tackle the climate change phenomenon. Speaking during the pass-out parade for KDF officers at the Defence Forces Recruit Training School in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County today, he expressed confidence that the military was up to the task of combating climate change. The president noted that climate change was the biggest threat to the country's development and prosperity. He pointed out that the recent floods that affected many parts of the country, leading to loss of lives and property, were a consequence of climate change.
KDF, I have an assignment for you. We have climate change that is ravaging our country. We came straight from a drought situation a year ago, straight into a flood situation recently. Climate change is the biggest threat to our development and to our prosperity. And as a response, we decided that we are going to plant 15 billion trees across Kenya. I want to commend all Kenyans. Last Friday was an exercise in patriotism that I saw across the country with all Kenyans from all walks of life, young and old, participating in tree planting. I want to ask the KDF to lead the way, to provide the mechanism, and to work with the Ministry of Environment so that they can be the lead champions in the exercise of planting the 15 billion trees in the next 10 years. I know, and I am confident, that the KDF are up to that task.
Well, just before we go on a break, it has been quite a journey for Hope FM, and it can only get bigger and better with your partnership and God's divine intervention. Hope FM has grown to be the leading Christian radio station in the country, impacting many lives and contributing to the salvation and growth of many believers. More on our Did You Know segment tonight. Well, it is happy birthday, 20 years for Hope FM next week. Let's take a short break. We'll be back with much more.
This year, Hope FM is celebrating 20 years of spreading hope and inspiration in the airwaves across the globe. To mark this milestone, we invite you for an unforgettable worship ceremony dubbed Experience Hope, a soul-stirring celebration happening on the 25th of May 2024 from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Sitam Valley Road. Prepare to be moved by the soulful voice of Joel Wanga from Tanzania.
Baba, umejua kunifurahisha. Baba, umenifuta machozi.
Alongside celebrated Kenyan artists Peter Watako, Kathy Praise, Bitson and Karura Voices, and Godwill Babete. Don't miss out. Get your ticket now on www.hopemediakenya.org or dial *826*50#. Charges are 1,000 shillings advance tickets and 1,500 shillings at the gate. So mark your calendar, get your praise game on, and see you at Experience Hope. All are welcome.
I don't think justice is there for everybody. Yeah, I don't think people experience the justice that they deserve. We might not want to believe it, but it's very shrewd. It works for the people it works for. It works, but for the people it doesn't. It really doesn't. And I know that there's a lot that needs to be done.
They're going to unlearn, or rather relearn new things that they have to do in life. Their mental spaces, their emotional spaces, so we take them through life skills, the normal SDG goals and what they are and what they mean.
Welcome back. Now, Interior Principal Secretary Raymond Omolo has said that preparations for Madaraka Day celebrations at the Masinda Muliro Sports Stadium in Kandui are well underway, saying the Army has been involved in completing the construction. Speaking during a visit to this stadium, Omolo said the Army in partnership with the National Youth Service, is working with a contractor, hoping the stadium will be ready for the national celebrations on June 1st.
We have had a brief tour of the stadium just to assess the progress. We were here last week and I did mention that there were some small delays in terms of the timelines, and we came back today to just assure ourselves that we have made progress since then. And as you may have noticed, there has been significant progress in terms of the completion of the stadium, particularly the terraces and the main pavilion. And we want to assure the people of Bungoma and the people of Kenya that we are on course to host the Madaraka Day celebrations on the 1st of June. We have added extra hands beyond the National Youth Service officers. We now have our colleagues from the Kenya Defence Forces who will also help with the supervision of the last section of the works that are ongoing.
A section of professional counsellors in Embu County have raised a red flag on counselling services offered by various groups, including churches, especially during the current flooding across the country, where many Kenyans have been left grieving. Speaking after an engagement with Embu journalists, Professor Wanjiro Mugai and scholar on behavioral sciences Royal Fellowship Award observed that there are several gaps where motivational speakers, mentors and coaches have arbitrarily engaged in counselling services without following the due process.
We have been moving to and fro, round circles, and we really don't understand where we shall stand, because for quite a time, the counsellors have been trained in different areas. The counsellors themselves know their areas of specializations. But when tuseme maybe a church, and they say they have their own counsellors, they don't tell you which counsellors, where they got them from, but we have bodies, organizing bodies, which if a church wanted counsellors, they can tell you, in Embu, we have the following. In this county, we have the following. So it is like individualism based, where not everybody is literalized in the right way. So I would request the church, the government, and we counsellors also, and the organizing body or the bodies of counselling bodies and the board to come together and we align how do we do the job.
Counselling as a profession is getting entrenched in Kenya. It has not received full recognition from the society, from members of the society and the government. And I would like the government to recognize the valuable services that are offered by professional counsellors. We need counsellors in this particular country.
Now, a home-to-home agroforestry model has taken root and is thriving in Senenden and Katilak villages in Sioi Ward, West Pokot County, as a way of environmental conservation at Kapkanyar Forest, which is the source for Lake Victoria and River Nzoia. The model that involves planting of tree seedlings in households will help protect water sources, catchment areas, and riverbanks which had been destroyed by deforestation and effects of climate change. And it's a joy for traders in Nanyuki, Laikipia County, after the launch of a 360 million shillings state-of-the-art ultra-modern market that is expected to be constructed within a year. The project, which was commissioned by Laikipia Governor Joshua Irongo and National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, is expected to serve over 1,000 traders in the county. Among those expected to benefit upon completion include the fresh produce traders. The new market will further offer a conducive and clean working environment for the business people in the county, aimed at increasing their sales and creating job opportunities.
Rais ametupangia Kenya mzima ni kwa ule mpango tuliweka kwa manifesto yetu. Mnakumbuka tulisema kazi ni kazi, bora pesa mfukoni. Na kazi ya kuleta pesa mfukoni, hatukusema ni kazi gani, ndio tukasema kazi ni kazi. Uwe wewe uko kwa soko, lazima upate mahali safi, mahali pazuri pa kufanyia biashara yako, ili tuheshimu hiyo kazi yako. Uwe wewe ni mtu huyo wa kubeba na wheelbarrow, hiyo mheshimiwa Kionjori anawapangia wakiwa na kagondu, hiyo pia ni kazi, bora tuweke pesa mfukoni. Wale wetu ambao ni wakulima pia, tukizalisha chakula kwa mpango wa subsidized fertilizer, tupate nafasi ya kuleta chakula kwa soko ambazo ziko na hali mzuri ya watu kuja kutembea na kununua. Ile affordable housing inajengwa, wale watu wataishi kwa hizo manyumba za gorofa, ndio watakuwa customers wenyu kwa hii soko.
The Kenya National Library Services Embu branch has partnered with the visually impaired community in the county to equip them with digital skills geared towards self-reliance. The library has been giving them free basic computer skill and use of smart gadgets such as phones to enable them easily get government services from the comfort of their homes. The digital training, according to Principal Librarian Jane Rose Mukami, is also geared towards exposing them to the world of online jobs where they will be able to earn a living and not rely on others for their upkeep.
Hii organization yetu inashughulikia sana walemavu wa macho kwa kuwasaidia accessibility, mobility kits kama hii white kits, vitu kama computers which are customized for use by blind people, and a few other items which we will unveil because today nimekuja hapa kusaidia watu wa Embu wale wamejiunga kwa kikundi inaitwa Embu Library Disabled Group na disability devices to assist them navigate around and also be compliant to the current life of digital life.
Now, CTAM's mission team, which is in Uganda for the Light Up and Kole region mission, today conducted door-to-door mission in Mbarara City, Uganda. The team led by Reverend Stephen Makau was able to reach out to 179 residents, with 62 people giving their lives to Christ. Our reporter Alice Diana brings us the story from Uganda.
It is day 2 of the Light Up Ankole Region Mission for Jesus in Mbarara, Uganda, and CTAM's mission team from Kenya, which is taking part in the 5-day conference, began by conducting door-to-door ministry in different areas with the aim of winning souls for Christ.
Our experience here in Uganda, it's my first time to be in Uganda and I'm so excited. The weather is good. Mission work has been amazing. We've had so far it's 2 souls to Jesus Christ, and I'm really excited.
The CTAM's mission team members, who most of them are young members, said they were inspired to do missionary work because they also came to know Christ through other missionaries.
I rededicated my life to Jesus on a mission while I was on a mission. And I think it was a turning point for me, and that's why I'm so passionate about missions, because I know what they did for me and I would want to do the same for other people.
The team appreciated the residents of Mbarara for according them a warm reception.
The land here is fertile, the people are responsive, and it is just wonderful to minister to the people of Uganda.
During the door-to-door ministry, language barrier was noted to be the biggest challenge.
Some will accept you. Like you'll have people who actually want to know you just because you say or you look different or you say you're Kenyan, but others are very arrogant and they're just like, no, we don't want to talk to you.
Language barrier has been a challenge, but we have been able to overcome, and we have found some people who understand
Yeah.
what we say, and we have been able to minister to them.
I think our English is a bit more complicated than theirs is. But other than that, not really. The guys here are very, very receptive. They're giving us ample time.
Despite the challenge of language barrier that has been witnessed during the door-to-door ministry, most residents of Mbarara have appreciated the SITAM's mission team for bringing them the gospel of Jesus Christ.
What I have learned from them is to pray God, and they have told me that God cannot give you something faster. You have to pray, you have to pray, you have to think, and you have to pray so that God can hear your voice and give you anything you want.
Reporting for Hope TV News Watch from Mbarara City in Uganda, I'm Alice Diana.
Thank you, Alice Diana, for that report all the way from Uganda. And on that note, we take a short break. We will be back with business news.
Are you ready to celebrate the brilliance, resilience, and outstanding achievements of remarkable women in East Africa? Hope Media, in partnership with BH Media Agency, brings you the East Africa Women of Excellence Awards Kenyan Chapter. The East Africa Women of Excellence Awards Kenyan Chapter aims at celebrating and honoring the unsung women trailblazers and the change makers in various fields of influence. Visit our website at www.womenofexcellenceawards.co and vote a woman of impact in the various categories. Let's celebrate the incredible achievements of women together. And don't forget to tune in on the 14th of June this year as we honor the winners. For partnership and sponsorship, call Eunice on 0719 863 336 or Warren on 0724 514 998. You can also email customerexperience@hopefm.org. The East Africa Women of Excellence Awards, recognizing East Africa women of impact.
Aya, I'm not go TV stream. It's free.
Go TV Stream iko mkononi na ni free. Download Go TV Stream app for free. Enjoy live TV na shows kamia nane. Download and watch later, anytime, anywhere. Go TV Stream iko mkononi na ni free. Available to active subscribers. Go TV, love it.
Welcome back in business. Huawei Cloud hosted a successful Spark Discovery Kenya Media and Entertainment Summit in Nairobi. The summit culminated in the signing of memorandums of understanding between Huawei, leading new media platform Mango TV, and prominent Kenya media houses. According to the agreement, all parties will actively work together to promote cultural exchanges and media industry cooperation between China and Kenya. This strategic collaboration leverages Huawei's cloud's leading audio and video cloud services and advanced media infrastructure, empowering Kenyan media houses to adopt cutting-edge technologies, drive innovation, and deliver exceptional experiences.
As you are all aware, we are all cultural beings, and without culture, we cannot be able to undertake anything. All economic and social activities centers around culture. China's dynamic creative industry, spanning from film, animation, and gaming, fashion, and design, has actually influenced the globe in a very great way, to an extent that we consider China today as a global cultural powerhouse due to its innovative approaches to creative production. In Kenya, we are looking for opportunities for us to be able to collaborate with China and see to it that we are able to expand our markets.
Okay, my name is Frank. I'm the managing director of the cloud business in Kenya market, and for today's the summit, which is we focus on the accelerate the intelligence of the media industries in the Kenya market. And because we saw that a big trend that AI is shaping the world now, especially that in the Kenya market, we saw there are so many kind of the content, so many kind of the video streaming, live streaming kind of the opportunities there. So that's why we want to call for this meeting to cooperate working with both the local customers and partners and to accelerate the media, the digitalization, the trend in this event. And besides of this ones, we also bring the Mango TV, which is the Chinese kind of the largest TV program provider there, and they would like to.
Listed agribusiness firm Kakuzi PLC has outlined a strategic growth plan to enhance its returns on investment score and sustain its growing positioning as an integrated international business. Speaking at the firm's 96th annual general meeting, Kakuzi PLC Nicholas Nganga said the agribusiness enterprise, which has the vision to be Africa's leading superfoods producer and exporter, will maintain a heavy focus on sustainable crop and animal production to boost shareholder returns.
Kenya shillings, up from 0.8 billion Kenya shillings posted in the previous year. The avocado growth can be attributed to increased field production, enhanced pack house, and related handling efficiencies. Thanks to these factors, our avocado exports surpassed the 3 million carton mark for the first time. This translates to 562 containers, up from 527 in 2022. On sustainability, as a critical player in the agricultural sector, your company will continue to pay attention to its sustainability endeavors. We are committed to ensuring that our operations today maintain the ability of future generations to meet their own needs.
The Next Step Foundation, in partnership with Assistive Technologies for Disability Trust, have partnered to launch the Center for A14 SDG, which will address key challenges for artificial intelligence, that is AI, and sustainability development goals in the Global South, including data availability and quality, capacity and skills gap, and ethical and social implications of AI. Speaking at the event, key speaker Philip Thigo, the UN High-Level Advisory Board member on AI, delved into the potential of AI to drive progress towards sustainable development goals. He lauded steps being undertaken by local startups to alleviate inequality, especially among people with disabilities as well as the elderly. And we have come to the end of Newswatch tonight. On behalf of the whole team that has made this bulletin a success, thank you for watching. I'm Teresia Njenga, and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. God willing, see you tomorrow night. Have a good night.